What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So we're out here in the shop this morning. Going to get started taking this dozer back apart. For those of you who hadn't been keeping up, we had the engine out of this thing, thought the drive coupling was broke because the dozer quit moving. I bought it that way. Replaced the drive coupling. I didn't see anything wrong with the other one other than it had some wire in it, but nothing that would keep it from moving. I did put a new one in it, put it back together, did some troubleshooting, found out that the hydraulic pump is bad. So now we're pulling the motor and the hydraulic pumps as one assembly out so that we can better access everything and not be bent over in our head and trying to work on this thing. Trying to get the hydraulic fluid out of it. I don't find a drain anywhere on this thing. Last time I just took a line loose up under the bottom and set buckets under it. I'm gonna try to siphon some of it out this time. So I was only able to get out about 4.5 gallons or so with that hose stuck in the bottom of the tank and blowing air around the filler cap with a rag over it to pressurize the tank, which pushes oil out the hose. And I got about 4.5 gallons out of it. That was probably about all that was left in there anyways. Originally put 10 in it for testing purposes. And I probably lost about 3 of that on the floor up under there whenever I had those relief valves out of the pump testing. So there's probably still a couple of gallons in the line up under there. We'll catch that in a bucket from the bottom side. And then we'll be ready to tear this thing back apart. All right, guys, I've got the suction line loose on the bottom down there and all the hydraulic fluid's out. The lighting up here is not great. It may look better on camera than it is, I'm not sure. I've got this line here, I just cracked loose. Using the air chisel to break some of these loose right here because it breaks them loose pretty well. The only wrench I have is big enough to fit this stuff is a 24-inch crescent. 24-inch crescent does not really fit in here that well. And as you see, you got a lot of fluid there that's going to come out of everything. And I'm going to try to stuff some towels up in here to try to keep trash from getting in here while I'm working and stuff. Just got to make sure when you put it back together not to leave any of them stuck in there, because then you'll have more problems. I may have to wind up taking this line here all the way off back there like I did before. The way I'm going to pull the pumps this time though, hoping I can leave a lot of this stuff on there because a lot of the lines go from one pump to the other pump and that sort of stuff, and so it'd be nice if I can leave some of these on here and not have to take so many of them loose. I know I've got to take that one off the brake valve there. Because it goes to the pump down there first thing. This is really the hardest part of this, getting all these darn lines off of there. It's just a nasty job that is not fun. Let's see here what the next thing is. I don't know if I go around on the other side, if I can see any better or not. I'm kind of in the way of my light, but I don't know if I got another light that I might can stick up here and help out or relocate this one here or something, because this is not great. I bet that'll work right there. Check this out. Got my stand laid up on the radiator and up on the top up there. I can see a little better. Hopefully you guys will be able to as well. So anyway, I gotta figure out how many of these hoses I gotta take loose. I don't want to take no more loose than I have to. Let's see, I gotta take off this one here for sure. So it goes right there. That is one of the ones that, that's the line that should have fluid in it that doesn't. I gotta find my 24-inch crescent as well, and my 15-inch crescent. Here's my 15. I really don't have any wrenches bigger than 1.25 inches that I don't usually work on stuff requiring a wrench that big. Usually sockets. I got sockets up to, I don't know, I think 2.5 or something. I don't really have any end wrenches. A wrench and a quarter. A couple of big crescents and some big pipe wrenches is all I got. We're going to get the job done here some kind of way. This line here was the one that was supposed to come from the filter housing and go into this pump right here. And there should have been oil coming out of here. There was not whenever we checked it. So we got that one, and then this one here goes to brake valve back in here, and I'm going to take these things loose up here if I can. Whatever's the easiest way. My wire's going to. I got something going on with the part brake solenoid as well, but that has nothing to do with why we have no hydraulic flow. Something I think somebody else created a problem maybe. I'm not sure. Sort that out when we get there. Figure out. This one here, I'm just gonna come loose. All right, guys, I've decided I'm going to go ahead and take off this top metal pipe right here because it's going to hang on everything in the world if I don't. And I'm the only one here. I'm going to go ahead and get this out of the way to lessen my frustrations in a little while because it's going to come off anyways. Yeah, I put in a job application one time when I was younger at a cat place, and I'm kind of glad I never heard anything back from that deal, because I don't think this would be very enjoyable if you had to do this every day. Goes the bit again. Put her other bit back in there. I picked it up a while ago. loose now. I can't get a 24-inch crescent wrench in there to get that loose like that. Alrighty, that one's loose. Bottom side's super fun. You want to guess where all that hydraulic fluid goes when you take the lines off down there. Right all over the top of it. Yeehaw. I think that is most everything as far as the hoses and all is concerned. It's got to come loose. Get this thing out of here. I think that's about it on the pump part anyway. All right, guys, I've got 2 more bolts, or the 2 bolts that's in the cooling stack, 2 bolts for the engine mounts, and a few wires that's going to be a little bit easier, just a little easier to get to after I get the motor suspended and back up just a touch. I think they're just making it a little easier to get to unplug and take loose. So I'm going to leave those for now. I do see one that I take loose right here, easy to get to. And anyway, I'm going to leave the rest of them for right now until I get the motor picked up. But I got to zip these 2 bolts out of the cooling stack, get the chains on it, and we'll lift it up out of there. We'll come back and get the motor picked up, take the wires loose, hopefully bring it, pumps and all out, and then set them down over there on the floor and start tearing them apart and see what we got going on. I didn't do it very good at hooking my chain up on here. I'm gonna have to do something different. It wanted to pick up crooked. I did a better job last time, but I was trying to compensate for some of the weight that was on there this time, and it didn't go just how I wanted it to go, so I'll do something different. I've got out the Allen head bolts around the charge pump here. Let's see if we can bump it loose. Alright, we got more Allen head bolts there. We know how that goes. We got 4 more Allen head bolts. They look to be a different size than those. Those look like about 8 mils. Yep. I'm not sure which one of these you're supposed to take loose first. You're supposed to take these inner 4 out or the outer 4 out. We're going to take the inner 4 out and see what happens. Something, a little chisel or screwdriver or something. I don't know what I'm doing, but I know that Cat wants $13,000 plus tax for this hydraulic pump. So that's the reason we're gonna see if we can figure out what's going on here. This was a cheap pump. I would just buy one, throw it on there and be done, but it don't work that way. I think there's a problem right there. Yes, sir. That's her. That's a problem. That's what I thought we had going on. Charge pump has sheared the keyway and the gear's busted. Can you see that crack right there? Look at that tooth right there. Right where the keyway is. The gear busted right there. So I don't know if I can buy these parts. Hopefully I can. And be able to buy that charge pump assembly. And possibly be able to just stick this thing back together. I don't know, maybe I ought to tear on into it, but I really hate to. Maybe go ahead and pull this off just to look at it and see. The way this system works is you got your suction pipe that comes down on the bottom right here, that big hole that's open, and you got these 2 tubes here that one that I broke loose for the rear pump, and then this one going here, and that charge pump sucks the fluid up through here from the tank, and then it goes out through this hose here, I believe, through the filter housing. That's why we didn't have any oil going to the filter housing, is that pump has busted the gear and stripped out the key. And so anyway, once it goes through the filter housing, it comes back into the pump over here. The clean fluid from the filter comes in right there, right here to your joystick, your safety valve, your joystick, and parking brake, and ties into the rear pump right here. They kind of tee together. And then once that happens, it comes back from your joystick and goes to these servos right here. You have a lower line here and an upper line. Man, it's hard to keep the dirt out of this stuff. You do not want dirt in your hydraulic pump, especially when the thing's $13,000 plus tax of 14 grand. Cat. Anyways, it comes back from your joystick, and this here moves the swash plate in this pump, and it's what makes your dozer travel or whatever you're working with. And when this pump here breaks, you know, there's no fluid to circulate anything through here to go in there to make that part of the pump work. So that's how that is. I think I'm gonna go ahead and pull these 4 screws here out and pull the back of this pump off just to check everything out in there, because I'm sure there's some metal that got right there, since I was right there at it. The rest of it I would think would be okay as far as the other pump, because you know, the fluid kind of stopped right there. Whenever that pump stopped turning, it could not go a whole lot further. So all of that looks really good. I don't know what I'm going to have to do to get this put back together. I may have to totally disassemble the pump. And I'm going to grit all in this thing. It is not good. Not good at all. But all the plungers there look good, pistons. The sealing surface looks good up under there. You see they're sealing all the way around. Got to get some of this freaking dirt off in here, man. I'm not set up to be working on a hydraulic pump, I'll tell you that much. So everything in here is covered with grit. Oh me. All that looks wonderful though. There's no scars or scratching on the pump. All the back of the plungers there and everything where they seal look good. I was worried about maybe metal had gotten up in there, but I don't see anything. It all looks good. Man, oh man. So that's how that pump right there works. Is there's a swash plate inside of there that rides on that right there where that brass sits, and this wobbles around. If this is perfectly flat and zero, you have no oil pumping through your pistons. When this angle is like this, backwards and forwards, that's what gives you your forwards and reverse. Yeehaw. I think it went right back up in there, I believe. Well guys, I'm gonna have to see what the availability of a charge pump is and go from there. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to get some of this oil up. I don't want to put oil dry down because that makes my mess with the grit even worse. I need some of those absorber pads, but I don't have any. So that's where you shop towels. Just let me soak up some of this stuff maybe. It won't be quite as bad. You definitely don't want oil dry in your $13,000 or $14,000 hydraulic pump. Not a good combination. Alright guys, I'm going to finish getting this cleaned up here, and I will check the availability on parts, see if I can get a charge pump, how long it's going to take to get it, what it's going to cost, where I got to get it from, all that good stuff. But in the meantime, I'm going to get this mess cleaned up, wrap this video up. I got a whole lot of footage I got to get edited on this project, and I hadn't even got started on it yet. So anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video.